Good evening. Dr. Andrew Merrill here at Nightlight Chiropractic, and this is Wednesday Night Wellness Live. And this is a video that we bring to you each and every week that highlights the questions that we're getting from our patients the most as common answers to you, the viewer, because you probably have these same questions even though we don't interact as often as maybe I would like. Not that I need you here as a patient necessarily, but if you have health concerns or health questions, I would like to help you to answer some of those questions. And so tonight I've got a really cool, different idea for you. I know that we normally play quizzes quite a bit, and tonight we're not going to do that. So for some of you quiz junkies out there that love to play my quizzes, tonight is not the night for you. This is not the week. What we're doing tonight instead is something that my kids like to do, and that's that I bought some new toys. And I bought some of these toys based on what Facebook was asking me about and telling me about. And I bought some of these new toys because I've got a lot of patients that are asking me about these products. And so I want to make sure that you know what we're doing. Like if you see some of these products, you might be fooled into getting them or looking at them or trying them because pain's a great motivator, right? You have pain, and so what's going to happen is Facebook is going to splash this cool new product up for you because they know that you have pain somehow. I don't know, maybe you said it and it now is tracking you. But once you have your pain as that great motivator, what happens is Facebook shows you this product and then you buy this product. And this product might be good and it might be terrible and it might make your pain worse. And so tonight we're going over two different products that are pitched all the time on Facebook to see if they really hold up to what they say that they're going to do. And again, just like my kids, when they watch another kid open up a toy on Facebook or your YouTube or whatever, tonight I'm opening up some of these toys. Now, just for the record, to make sure that everyone is very clear, I was not paid anything. These are not promotional items. I paid for these from my own dollars, personal dollars, so that I can give you a real review on what they are. And then the second part of this is I have some alternatives for you when I think some of these products have shortcomings. So pay attention because it's important to know not only that this product does or doesn't live up to what it says it's going to do, but also is there something else that you could or maybe should be doing instead? So jumping right into it, I was looking for the Chirp Wheel. Does anybody know what that is? The Chirp Wheel? I was looking for it on Amazon. Apparently it's not sold on Amazon. But the Chirp Wheel looks a little bit like these. So I got the Florenzi instead, the Florenzi wheel. And if you can tell just from the box here, immediately when this package came, I was very nervous. Because I can't do any of this stuff, not even close, right? I've never felt older in my entire life. But I'm definitely not doing a handstand like that. I cannot bend like that. If that's what this wheel is designed for, then I'm in big trouble. But the reason that my patients talk about this is because of this right here. So I talk about using different products and methods and devices to get some good traction in your upper back. And so I wanted to test these out to see if they actually did what I thought they were going to do or what they are advertised to do. So what it comes as is this, right? So it comes as three different wheels that are all separatable. And it's designed so that the least amount of tension when you're laying on it is this. And then second least is this. And then the most amount of tension or pressure that you're going to get is using this smaller wheel to create a very small fulcrum that you're going to lay over. And without recreating what my staff and I have been doing all day, we all tested out these to see how well they did to get good traction in our upper backs and necks and lower backs, and how painful it was and how much of a stretch you felt and whether you could get joints to cavitate, right? So I have a lot of patients who say, these things are what I use in between visits with you, Dr. Merrill, because these things make my spine move and click and pop. And that's fine, that's good. And I would argue that if you are getting good motion and you feel better after using these, then go for it, because I like this one the best. So this little one here was unbearable for me to lay on. I could not lay on this. I got it. I'm 40 years old. I'm an old man now, but I couldn't let this hit my back without squirming in pain and writhing in pain because it's too much of a fulcrum. This one, however, actually gave me a pretty good stretch through my upper back when I laid on it, like that picture shows, with it right behind my upper back. So when I do that stretch, I don't know if you can see it with the glare, that stretch right there for my upper back with the biggest wheel actually gave me a really good stretch. No cavitation, but a really good stretch. But for $50, these things are pretty well put together, so maybe no harm, no foul if you wanted to try these out. However, I think one of the shortcomings of this is that you can buy something like this. You can buy a regular good old foam roller at Five Below, use it the same exact way behind your upper back, and get almost the same amount of tension. So should you pay the $50 for these Chirp wheels or Florenzi wheels or yoga wheels versus just getting a good old-fashioned foam roller? Probably not. Probably not is the best answer I can give you, right? I would start with this first, and if it's not getting you what you're looking for, maybe go buy one of those wheels. But the amount of pressure that it creates, I think, is maybe too much for a lot of patients, including myself. Foam roller for the win, exactly. So start with the foam roller. If you're not getting what you're looking for, if you need more of a stretch, you can maybe try that out. There's some caveats though, right? So this, very not dangerous because when you're laying on it, you're real close to the floor. This, where did I put it? This big old thing, you feel like you could roll off this and actually hurt yourself just a little bit. So you have to be a little bit more careful, probably a lot more athletic, right? Like, I don't consider myself too much of a slouch, but I felt like this was a little bit dangerous to lay on, and that's not even doing some of the stuff that's on there, but then again, maybe you guys are doing more yoga than I think you are, and it might be good for you. So again, not a bad product if you have the $50 to spend on it. Be careful using it, but maybe start with a foam roller instead. So, Ms. Paula Brown, good to see you on here. So the next product, and this gets pitched to me all the time. Oh my God, I can't go on Facebook without seeing an ad for this. And there's so many knockoffs of this now too that I think they all advertise to me. They probably just know I'm a chiropractor, and then they're like, "This guy's gotta use it." But this product, you guys have probably seen it. It's all over the internet waves. It's the neck hammock, right? Have you guys seen this product? Where you hook it up to the doorknob, and I'll show you kind of how that works in just a second. You put your head in it, and it stretches, right? It's supposed to give you some good traction and be pain relieving and be good for you, right? Can we try it at your office? Yeah, these products are going to probably be sitting here in my office unless one of my stepdaughters steals them, but you're happy to come try these out before you buy them. They'll be here, and we can talk about the good and the bad and the ugly of them, but jumping right back into this neck hammock, which is the original, right? This is the neck hammock. It says all over the packaging that there's patents all over it, so you have to not knock them off like a lot of people are doing. But it's interesting, just some of the stuff that comes with this, right? So there's a door hanger that says "Do not open, relaxation in progress," because when you hook it on the door, you got to be careful because if somebody opens the door, that would maybe either hit you in the head or hurt your neck. So that goes on one side of the door. Thank you card, and then a welcome guide. And as it's talking about what you're supposed to do, the last instruction is close your eyes and relax. And it actually comes with a eye mask so that you can fall asleep while you're using this. So I tried this product out, right? And I wanted to show you real quick kind of how this product works. So I'm going to turn the camera here to show you the door a little bit. So you loop it onto the other side of the door, if you can see there. So it goes on the opposite side of the door, and then it hooks right in here like this. And then you lay down so that your head goes in it and that it's creating a stretch, right? So you're supposed to create a stretch and then just hang there while it decompresses your neck. So a couple things about using this, and I only had a chance to use it a couple times and not for very long, unfortunately, but a couple things about it is it says in the instructions that you're supposed to have your head hanging 2 to 4 inches off the ground, right? So you're going to be hanging in a little bit of flexion like this, right? Well, if you've ever had a patient here, if you know me, hanging in flexion is what we're trying to avoid because everyone's falling into this flexion. Patients don't get stuck in extension. So to relax in flexion is going to be bad for you. Especially, more so, if you end up falling asleep in flexion, right? I can only imagine that if you fall asleep in this thing and you wake up, you're going to be miserable. You're going to have a neck strain injury. You're going to have a headache. You might have tingling in your arms and hands. Be really careful with this thing, folks, because even though it doesn't create a lot of force, being in the wrong position for a long enough amount of time causes all kinds of pain and pathology. How do I know this? How do you know this? Have you ever slept wrong? Have you ever slept with an extra pillow behind your head or in a different setting, maybe at a hotel where the pillow is just too firm and too big so it forces you into flexion? It causes pain, right? Immediately. I sometimes get phone calls from you out there saying, hey, I slept wrong one time. I need to come see you. So if you fall asleep in this thing in the wrong position, it's going to be really bad for you. It does create a little bit of traction. It's not as good as some of the other traction that I recommend, like a cervical posture pump or like even a water bottle, right? So I tried to find one here. I unfortunately don't even have a regular water bottle at my office. But instead of using a neck hammock or something else, just using a regular 16.9 ounce water bottle, the kind that you buy in a case. Zephyr Hills, Publix, Dasani, whatever your favorite water brand is, it's probably in a 16.9 ounce bottle, which is just the right diameter, it so happens, to fit right underneath your neck and force you into extension. So instead of buying the, God, I don't even remember, I think this was $29.99. I could be wrong on that by a couple of dollars. But like I said, there's lots of knockoffs for it. Instead of spending the $29.99, maybe spend the 69 cents to try using a water bottle underneath your neck, which when you put it underneath your neck, you're still in extension instead of in that flexion like this neck hammock is pushing you into. And not that I recommend going to sleep like that because it could still stretch the ligaments and the muscles, but at least you'll be safer to do extensions. So those two products are here. If you ever wanted to come try them out, they are here for you along with a litany of other toys and devices. I think I'm going to make this a regular segment every month because every single month Facebook pitches a whole new crop of potentially dangerous, but maybe with some benefit like this Florenci wheel. But I think you need to be real careful about what you're trying and what's being pitched out there because not only can it have negative side effects, but it's much more expensive to come see me because this neck hammock hurt you than it is just have the neck hammock itself, right? I think we'd all agree with that. So I got a couple of questions coming in here real quick. Yes, it does seem a little bit dangerous, Emily, but not so dangerous that it's going to long-term hurt you, just so dangerous that it's going to make you have to come rushing in here. I got a question about best pillow brands. One of the pillow brands that we actually stand behind here is called the D-Core pillow, D-C-O-R-E. brand pillows. That's the kind that we carry here. Dr. Bass, my associate doctor here, absolutely loves them, helps to fit patients with them. He'll make you bring your pillow in to see how it fits, and then we can gauge what kind of pillow he likes to kind of fit you into. He knows a lot more about it than I do, actually, so I typically defer to him. My position on it is sleep is so important, and I talk about it so much. I'm not willing to risk you having a worse night's sleep to fix your neck while you're sleeping on it. So there's that. Let's see, great reinforcement to avoid flexion. Is it okay to sleep in some extension? Yes, absolutely, right? So the D-Core pillow, like I was just mentioning, pushes you into a little bit of extension. So it is okay to sleep in a little bit of extension. But like I mentioned before, be careful with this neck hammock thing because if you fall asleep in it, you're in flexion, not extension. Okay, be careful with it. Let's see, I have to buy a new mattress. I know you've talked about them, but I'm still nervous. Would love recommendations. So here it is, right? And I get this question all the time. There is a previous video to go back to if you wanted to. Type this into Amazon. Medium firm memory foam. You're going to get a dozen hits or so, all with thousands of recommendations. That's all the research agrees to is medium firm. Does it have to be memory firm? No, but I find that the cheapest and easiest way to get into a new mattress quickly. Nobody wants to save up thousands of dollars to buy a new mattress when you can get one for $300 or $400 that typically lasts a good long time, 5, 6, 7 years, which is how long a mattress lasts anyways. Try it. If you, I'm just thinking about if you're a heavier patient, if you're a slightly larger patient, I'm thinking about Ken, you might think about even going more to the firm side because medium firm might still have some give, but that's the best place to start according to the research, right? And there's a lot of different knockoff brands, right? It doesn't have to be Purple or Cloud or all these different mattress companies are out there now. There's just too many to name, and it doesn't have to be one of those brand name mattresses, just medium firm memory foam. Anyways, that's all I have for this evening, testing out these products. I am not going to be playing these products right now. I'm going to put these all back away, and I'm going to go home and go to bed. But again, you can always reach me, Dr. Merrill at nightlightchiropractic.com with all kinds of questions, whether it's about some of these new gadgets and toys that we have, whether it's about something related to your health, whether it is about new mattresses, or just to say hi. Love getting emails. Don't get so many emails. Again, that's all I have. This has been Wednesday Night Wellness Live. Be healthy. I'll see you next week. Good night.